Chapter 21 The Overexcited Wave Minato, and the White Beard of the Navy 6 Style. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 21 The Overexcited Namikaze Minato recovers the Navy's 6 Style White Beard. After a while, Bai Xuan began to eat sauce, big bone, chicken leg, beef, seafood, dessert. All kinds of cooked food and desserts that can be eaten directly are eaten into the stomach one by one. After the hot pot is boiled, various beef and mutton rolls, fish ball egg rolls are put into it, and then eaten bite by bite after boiling, completely ignoring the scalding temperature of the food, and Bai Xuan's stomach was also crazily digesting the food in it. No matter how much Bai Xuan ate, he didn't see any signs of swelling. Should I buy some compressed dry food? The food intake is just like this now. I'm afraid it will be even more outrageous in the future. Or buy some sea king meat from Papa. That while eating, Bai Xuan thought, there are a lot of nutrients in the meat of sea kings, and the effect is definitely much better for him than ordinary ingredients. Don't worry about cooking, just find a restaurant to help you cook. As long as the entire Neptune class is not sent together, it is not a big problem. After counting how much he had eaten, Bai Xuan wiped his mouth and left. It was not that he was full, but he was worried that if he continued to eat, he would attract unnecessary attention. Although all kinds of eating and broadcasting in the short video era have made people no longer unfamiliar with the big eater, but it is not certain that someone will shoot a video and post it on the internet. He doesn't like this kind of thing, and another store is more suitable for him. Anyway, there are many cafeterias nearby. Patting his stomach, Bai Xuan was in a very good mood. He could feel the warm current pouring from his abdomen to his limbs. This kind of strengthening that can be clearly felt by the body makes him extremely comfortable. In the following time, Bai Xuan entered and exited 3 cafeterias successively, and did not return home until he felt obviously full. Continue exercising after a short rest. After finally waiting until the weekend, he didn't want to waste too much time. Exercise is addictive. Not to mention this palpable feeling of getting stronger. It's exhilarating to be stronger without any cost, but it's also fascinating to feel the rewards of hard work. Bai Xuan wanted both. During the exercise, the food eaten before began to be rapidly decomposed, and then transformed into energy to nourish Bai Xuan's body. Light particles of various colors in the air that cannot be seen by the naked eye also continuously poured towards Bai Xuan's body, improved Bai Xuan's ability and physique. At the same time, while Bai Xuan was exercising, an interesting scene happened in the chat group. Golden Flash, Naruto will be born soon, so looking forward to it. JPG. Golden Flash, I will not let tragedy happen this time. Golden Glitter, Firm. JPG. Worst Elf, oh. Ordinary Group Leader, oh. Dancer Uchiha, oh. Boil Daegu into soup, oh. That's it. Meow, oh. Regarding Namikaze Minato's declaration, the members of each group did not have the slightest fluctuation, and even wanted to seal his mouth a little bit. Golden Flash, why are you acting so flat? Is there something wrong with what I said? Namikaze Minato couldn't understand their plain mood. You made him very embarrassed. Ordinary Group Leader, you have the nerve to say it. Ordinary Group Leader, how many times have you said this sentence? Ah. How many times? Ordinary Group Leader, I can understand your excitement, but you have to know that there are still 6 months before the Ninetales Rebellion. Ordinary Group Leader, 6 months. Ordinary Group Leader, please wait 5.5 months before talking about Naruto-related matters, thank you. Boil Daegu into soup, indeed. Worst Elf, I agree. Be my son, not bad. Gold Glitter. Gold Flash, okay. He did seem a little overexcited, but this is also something that can't be helped. Seeing the smile on Kushina's face and the expectation for Naruto during this time reminded him of what happened to Naruto in the memory copy. Until now he can't imagine how Naruto can maintain such an optimistic attitude after going through so many things. Even if he doesn't, it's his own money, he absolutely can't do it like Naruto. Fortunately, it was me who joined the chat group. If it was Kushina, I'm afraid it would go directly to the 3rd generation, or even kill Danzo directly, and if he can, he certainly wants to do it. But he is not only Naruto's father, but also Konoha's 4th Hokage. Without enough evidence, he couldn't take action against the Konoha elders. Gathering evidence takes time, therefore, during this period of time, All he can do is to avoid the occurrence of the Nine Tails Rebellion. Boil Daegu into soup. By the way, have you drawn a lottery these days? Ordinary group owner, I want to draw, but I don't have any points. Ordinary group owner, Panda has a headache. JPG. Ordinary group owner, every time you sign in, you get 3 or 4 points, and now it's only 23 points. Ordinary group leader, whoa. Su Yunqing wiped away the tears that did not exist in her eyes. She already had a deep understanding of her own luck. African Emirates, a pure-blood African chieftain. With so many check-ins, none of them exceeded 5, even Kwang San, Daegu, Madara and Dad, who were equally unlucky, have experienced 6 or 7 points more or less, but she, not once. Be my son, Ku-la-la-la, the old man has earned a lot of points in the past few days through the training methods of Neptune, famous sword, 3-color domineering, and Navy 6 styles. Worst elf, how many points have you exchanged? That when it comes to points, Saki Kurumi is not troubled, although she has gained something these days, it is too little. I don't know if it's because the chat group is biased against technology, or if the things she recycles are all common goods with low value. Ordinary group leader, 3-color domineering and Navy 6 style are just cultivation methods without experience, but their value is equally high. Ordinary group leader, if it is a famous sword, is it a good fast sword? Or a great fast sword? It should be impossible to be the supreme fast sword, right? Ordinary group leader, wait, where did you get the Navy 6? That she can understand the 3-color domineering, and she can understand the famous swords, whether they are Liang Kuai Dao, the Kuai Dao or even the Supreme de Kuai Dao, but the Navy 6 styles. Why do you, a pirate, know the Navy 6 styles? Be my son, Ku-la-la-la, isn't it something you can learn just by looking at the 6 naval styles? Boil Daegu into soup. Worst elf. Ordinary group leader. Gold Flash. Son of nature, listen, people say no. The 6th form of the Navy is a physical skill that surpasses the limits of human physical strength, and anyone who wants to learn it must go through rigorous training. End of this chapter. Chapter 22. There are no honest people in the chat group, newcomers join the group. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Even in the Navy, not many people learn it, but Whitebeard learned everything just by looking at it, which is really true, but it's normal when you think about it. Luffy also learned the shaving in the 6th form of the Navy, and Sanji also learned the moon step in the 6th form of the Navy. You want to say that they have an orthodox 6th form of the Navy's practice method? Definitely not, but they can still learn. Be my son. Just kidding, I just read a lot and understood the skills of the Navy 6 styles, so I can figure out the general exercise method. Be my son, there are definitely differences from the orthodox Navy 6, but the essence is the same. Whitebeard didn't care much about this. After all, he had fought with the Navy for so many years, and those skills were not so difficult to understand. Even if he didn't take the initiative to think about it, he understood it naturally after so many years. As for why he doesn't use it, for a powerhouse of his level, whether it is the Jinjin fruit or the armed domineering effect is far superior to the 6 styles, why should he look far away? That's it, meow. That's it, meow, you said it so easily, meow meow, I think I can do it too. Worst elf, add 1. Gold glitter, +1. Ordinary group leader, brain, I know it, hands, you fart. Son of nature, so, how many points does Dad have now? Under the guidance of Bai Xuan, the topic finally returned to the right track again. How can it change after chatting? Be my son, it's about, now. Whitebeard didn't hide anything, and said directly, ordinary group leader, There are, ordinary group owner, if it is converted into a lottery, wouldn't it be possible to draw, times directly? Ordinary group leader, wow, I'm about to cry. I'm so envious. Boil Daegu into soup, although it is a bit unexpected, it is reasonable to think about it. Boil Daegu into soup, after all, Dad is the top person in the pirate world, and it is very easy to get some points. Son of nature, compared to Dad, I am more curious about Mr. Madara, how many points do you have now? Son of nature, the ninjutsu of the Uchiha clan should be worth a lot of points, right? Uchiha Dance King, points, just barely. Uchiha Dance King, proud. JPG. Worst elf, at Golden Glitter, how about you? Worst elf, as the fourth Hokage, you should have a lot of points, right? Gold Flash, this. Namake's Minato's face showed some embarrassment. He doesn't really have many points. Ordinary group leader, you didn't sell the forbidden scroll, did you? Golden Glitter, yeah. Ordinary group leader. Worst elf. Boil Daegu into soup. Uchiha Dance King. Be my son. Son of nature, should I say you are too honest? Or too rigid? Although Bai Xuan had expected it long ago, he still couldn't help being a little speechless after reading Daba Fengshiman's words. Ordinary group leader, it's not that if you sell it, it will be gone. You just sell a cultivation method. Ordinary group owner, just record it and sell it later. Ordinary group owner, and it's selling a chat group directly, and you don't have to worry about learning from people who are hostile to Ninja Village. Boil Daegu into soup, that's right, you are too rigid. Golden Flash, that's what I said, but after all, I am a shadow of Ninja Village and I always feel like betraying Ninja Village by doing this. Golden Flash, besides, there are too few members in the chat group now, and there are not many good things in the lottery pool. It feels a bit worthless to sell the forbidden scroll now. Golden Flash, wait until there are more members in the group or when new features are activated. Be my son, Devil Fruit, 3-color domineering, and Supreme Sharp Knife are not good things. Worst elf, isn't Spirit Crystal a good thing? That's it meow, isn't Pokemon a good thing? Son of nature, isn't the various powerful abilities in my world a good thing? Boil Daegu into soup, isn't Ultraman's power a good thing? Ordinary group leader, isn't the countless cultivation methods in the Gaowu world a good thing? Gold Glitter. When you say this and add your own world, it seems that they are indeed valuable items, but I still want to be able to get them. Furthermore, you keep silent about things that are useless in your own world. Just when the scene was a little awkward, a sudden sound from the chat group attracted everyone's attention. Ding, group member Eastern Invincible joined the chat group. Worst elf, welcome newcomers. Be my son, cool la la la, welcome newcomer. That's it meow, welcome newcomers, meow, I don't know what the newcomers world is like. Boil Daegu into soup, looking at the name, I feel that the newcomer is very strong, welcome the newcomer. Ordinary group leader, welcome newcomers. But this name shouldn't be what I imagined, right? Child of nature, maybe, probably, maybe. Dongfang Booby, where is this place? Dongfang Booby, who are you? Dongfang Booby, why does my spiritual consciousness appear here? Worst elf, newcomers, don't be nervous, think about it carefully, the chat group should have instilled basic information into your mind. Dongfang Booby, you mean those messages? A chat group that connects the heavens and worlds. The members of the group come from different worlds. Dongfang Booby, do you think this seat will believe these seemingly fake things? Ordinary group leader, why don't you treat us as gods? Would this be easier to accept? Ordinary group owner, Shaoxing. JPG. Eastern Undefeated. Are you afraid that I will believe you, so you use this method on purpose? Boil Daegu into soup, there are copies of memories from other worlds in the group files, you can take a look. Boil Daegu into soup, if you can pay the group leader a satisfactory reward, you can also ask her about your future. Boil Daegu into soup, oh, by the way, you can ask him. Dongfang Invincible, my future. In the world of smiling proud Jianghu, in the Blackwood Cliff, a woman in red was slightly silent. Dongfang Invincible, I don't need to know the future, if you can, please tell me if my sister is still alive and where she lives now. Compared with his own future, Dongfang Bai wants to know where his sister is now, with her strength, unless her master makes the move. Ren Wishing cannot be her opponent even if she reappears, therefore, she is not too curious. About her future, end of this chapter. Chapter 23 Phantom Beast Angel Form, Cthulhu, do you know? You are listening at novelfull.audio. Ordinary Group Leader, Sister, Ordinary Group Leader, then I probably know which version of Dongfang Invincible you are. Ordinary group leader, you should know too, right? Son of Nature, you know it, I've read it all, and it's pretty good. Ordinary group leader, yes, I also think that Yuma's filming is very good. At that time, she was all concerned about Ling Huchong and Dongfang Bai, and Ren Yingying was instantly killed. Okay. Ordinary group leader, Ling Huchong really doesn't know what to do. Isn't Dongfang Bai better than his little junior sister? Isn't he better than Ren Yingying? Oh, what a shame. Ordinary group leader, my poor Dongfang Bai, he lost his heart in the end. Woo. Son of Nature. Uchiha Dance King. Boil Daegu into soup. Worst elf. Gold glitter. That's it. Meow, is she always like this? Meow, the worst elf, just get used to it. Dongfang Booby, what are you guys talking about? Dongfang Bai was at a loss when he saw the word sent by the group leader. She didn't remember Ling Huchong. What did it mean that Ren Yingying was instantly killed by her? Is there a fight behind? And why do you say that Ling Huchong doesn't know what's good or bad? Did something happen to Ling Huchong and me in the future? What does it mean that the heart is gone at the end? Although Dongfang Bai didn't understand it very well, it can be seen from the language that the other party really knows him, so he should be able to find his sister, right? Son of Nature, you better restrain yourself, you are not chasing dramas now. Ordinary group leader, hey, I'm used to it, the main thing is that you know when you get emotional. Ordinary group leader, I will try to restrain myself in the future. Su Yunqing said embarrassingly, there was nothing to do about it, she was just an ordinary girl in her previous life, she couldn't help it in some aspects. Son of Nature, your sister is Yilin, and she is a disciple of Master Dingyi of the Hengshan school. Son of Nature, you can confirm her identity, after all, what we know may not be accurate. Dongfang Booby, thank you. Dongfang Booby, if the information is true, the Dongfang will be rewarded. After seeing the message sent by Bai Xuan, Dongfang Bai's eyes narrowed, and he said seriously, after finally getting the information about her sister, no matter whether it is true or not, she has to verify it. Ordinary group leader, is that what you said? Ordinary group leader, I was taught that I should be paid before, but I don't want it anymore. Ordinary group leader, oh, I see. You dislike the martial arts world for being too weak, and you don't like those powers, so you use the information to gain Dongfang Bai's favor and develop further, don't you? Ordinary group leader, you have a big plan. Son of Nature. Is this guy a comedian? Even though I didn't say anything, how did she come up with so many things in her brain? Child of Nature, can you think about the difference between us before you say that? Ordinary group owner, what's the difference? Su Yunqing didn't understand what Bai Xuan meant, and asked honestly, Son of Nature, I awaken my abilities at the beginning of my spiritual energy, and the strength of the abilities is not weak. I got the kaleidoscope Sharingan in the first lottery draw later. It can be said that even if there is no other power, I can develop it honestly. Go to the top of the world. Son of Nature, so I don't have to care too much about whether the information I have can be exchanged for something useful. Son of Nature, but you are different, you are just an ordinary person. Uchiha Dance King, you are just an ordinary person. Be my son, you're just an ordinary person. The worst elf, you are just an ordinary person. Boil Daegu into soup, although I am also an ordinary person, as the future Dijia, I still want to say, the group leader, you are just an ordinary person. Ordinary group leader. Ordinary group leader, big vomiting of blood. JPG. Su Yunqing felt that he had been stabbed in the heart by 5 knives. Yes, Bai Xuan was talented and capable. Even without other strengths, he could climb the path of cultivation, but she was just an ordinary person. Woohoo, why am I just an ordinary person? Bastard, letting me time travel doesn't give me talent, my only golden finger is still like this, it's not as powerful as the chat group in the novel. Woo, be my son, ku la la la, the group leader. Don't worry, I've got the news of the demon's devil fruit now. Seeing what the white beard said, Su Yunqing immediately became energetic, and couldn't wait to ask in the group. Ordinary group leader, really? What kind of fruit is it from the phantom beast? Ordinary group leader, could it be a white tiger, vermilion bird, and basalt form similar to Kaido? Be my son, it is rumored that it is the angel form of the phantom beast that is the fruit of everyone, but it is hard to say whether it is true. After all, a lot of information may not be true. Ordinary group leader, is it an angel? Ordinary group leader, it must be in the form of an angel. Beautiful face and powerful strength, just think about it. Ordinary group owner, please be sure to get it, this is my lifelong wish. The worst elf, why do I feel that the group leader cares more about appearance than strength? Boil daegu into soup, you can get rid of the feeling. Boil daegu into soup. If it wasn't for Bai Xuan's analysis last time that the group leader prefers to eat phantom beast devil fruits, then it is estimated that what the group leader wants most is the superhuman slippery fruit. Son of nature, friendly reminder, in the original mythology, the image of angels is ugly, and demons are relatively better, but they are not particularly beautiful. Son of nature, does Cthulhu know? It's almost like this. Ordinary group leader, shut up. Don't tell me these things. Ordinary group leader, do you know what you are talking about? You are breaking the beautiful fantasy of an innocent girl. Son of nature, the description of angels in the Old Testament is more like some kind of flying machine, the so-called six-winged, 2 pairs covering the face, 2 pairs. Ordinary group leader, if you don't listen, bastard chant scriptures. Ordinary group leader, don't look at it, bastard laying eggs. Boil daegu into soup, ha 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 ha. Be my son, ku la la la, no one in the group except Bai Xuan can push the group leader to this level. The most evil elf, I still remember when I first joined the group leader was still very shy and cautious, but after we got to know each other well, he changed his face. Uchiha Dance King, she even wanted me to send a memory copy of myself dancing. Boil daegu into soup, I already have a picture in my mind. End of this chapter. Chapter 24 The Arrival of Huo Yu, Bai Xuan's Self-Reasoning. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Time passed slowly. Bai Xuan was exercising while chatting with everyone in the chat group. This kind of thing was nothing, since he was able to sleepwalk in class in his previous life, while listening to the teacher's lecture. I don't know if it's an innate talent. Unknowingly, at night, Bai Xuan was planning to go to practice for a while after dinner, and he was still thinking about whether he should decorate the house and buy some special exercise equipment. After these days of exercise and self-evolution, his physique is no longer comparable to what it used to be. Ordinary exercise can't make him feel tired at all. This kind of exercise without any sense of fatigue meant nothing to him. If possible, he really wants a gravity room from the Dragon Ball world, so that he can make greater progress. Unfortunately not. This is true whether it is the world he is in or the world where other group members are. The world of the group leader Su Yunqing does exist, but she is just an ordinary person and she has no channels to buy it. Ding dong. Ding dong. Ding dong. When the doorbell rang, Bai Xuan was slightly taken aback. Is this someone knocking on the door? Looking at the time, it was already 8 o'clock in the evening. According to common sense, it should be impossible for acquaintances to come to him at this time. Although he was a bit puzzled, Bai Xuan walked to the door and opened it. With his strength, there should be no need to worry about someone who can hurt him on earth. If there is, then he should be able to feel a sense of threat instead of being so natural. But after opening the door, he frowned slightly. What caught his eyes was a woman, and an extremely beautiful woman at that. A head of fiery red hair fluttering in the wind, slender willow eyebrows, a pair of charming eyes, bright red lips, and a playful smile on a snow-white face. Looking at her early 20s by her face alone, she couldn't tell how much Bai Xuan actually had. Bai Xuan didn't have such a great ability to analyze a woman's age by her appearance. He was just wondering why the other party came to him, and why the other party's emotions were a little interesting. Who are you? Although he was puzzled in his heart, Bai Xuan didn't show it on the surface, and asked in a flat tone. Why, did you do such a presumptuous thing to me, and you didn't recognize anyone in a blink of an eye? With a smile on the corner of Huo Yu's mouth, he said jokingly, and then wanted to avoid Bai Xuan and enter the house, but in the next second a right arm blocked the way. I'm not interested in playing language games with you. If there is nothing else, please leave. Bai Xuan said lightly. Huo Yu looked up at Bai Xuan, and after about 10 seconds, she shrugged. The current high school students are surprisingly mature. No, it's just that you have to be special. If other people had strength, they would be eager to show it in the face of danger, and be a hero, but you chose to hide in the crowd. Although you used your strength, no one would be able to discover it because of the special ability. Having said that, Huo Yu paused for a moment, then looked at Bai Xuan and smiled slightly. Can I come in and sit down now? Bai Xuan took a deep look at her. Of course he knew what the other party was talking about. Without hesitation, he said calmly. Please. Although I don't know how I was exposed, but if there is no accident, the other party should be a member of the country. Only the government can confirm that among the large number of students so quickly, it is themselves who made the move. Although he still can't guess the way, obviously there is no monitoring installed on the playground, and it is impossible for them to psychologically determine that the person who shot is themselves. The power level is filled with the control of the golden element, and there are so many people who have awakened the power of the element, and they have no reason to be sure that it is themselves. In the living room, Huo Yu sat on the sofa with Erlang's legs crossed, looking at Bai Xuan with a smile on his lips. Although smiling is a way to bring two people closer, if you smile too much, the other person may think you are stupid. Boom! A cross popped out of Huo Yu's head. Does this person know how to chat? You are so stupid to laugh. Normally, you should be asking me why I was sure that you were the one who attacked the Chi-Yen bird on the day of the ability registration. Oh, is that kind of bird that can use the fire element called the Chi-Yen bird? Its strength should not be underestimated. Has the country already named it? So there are quite a few of this kind of bird, and it can even be said that there are many. I asked my friends in other middle schools. Their schools also encountered the same birds, but they were all killed by guns. So, this bird is official. A tool to demonstrate the power of firearms. Bai Xuan had speculated about this matter before, especially after other middle school friends complained to him about encountering the same bird when they awakened with supernatural powers. This kind of bird. Forget it, let's call it Chi-Yen bird. Chianio's strength is not weak, especially since it was the first day of its awakening. It possessed such strength. Even if other creatures are also awakened, this should be considered a genius. But other Zhongniao also appeared, which meant that the number of Chianio with such strength was not small, but he had never encountered it in the city, which was not normal. Therefore, the only possibility is from the official. Needless to say, the display of gun power is mainly to prevent students who are not fully mature in their minds from being too confident in their own power, which will cause turmoil to society. But these are really nothing. What puzzled him was another question. On the other side, Huo Yu was dumbfounded by Bai Xuan's series of reasoning. Did she reveal anything? She obviously just said Qi Yanyao's name, just a name. How do you deduce so much, and are they all correct? Well, this is actually not a big deal. She also knew about Bai Xuan's information before she came here. She has excellent grades and a mature mind, so it's not surprising that she can deduce these things based on some information, or he had such a guess before, but it was only more certain because of the name of Qi Yanyao revealed by her. After coughing twice, Huo Yu was about to say something, but at this moment, she heard Bai Xuan's question again. The strength of the Chi-Yen bird is not weak. How is the country cultivated? I'm pretty sure that the recovery of spiritual energy started on the night of the 7 stars. There is no such thing as the so-called recovery of spiritual energy in the past. It's just not obvious. Under such circumstances, it is impossible for the country to breed such a large number of Chi-Yen birds with strong combat power. So, is it because of the ability? The ability of beast control and summoning. End of this chapter. Chapter 25. Don't underestimate the world, the future of flowers blooming. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 25. Don't underestimate the world, a future where 100 flowers bloom. Huo Yu was speechless, looking at Bai Xuan with the same eyes as looking at a monster. Now she wonders if this guy is also from the country, and he is teasing her here. Otherwise, how did he analyze so many things from so little information? Forget about the previous ones, but for the latter ones, why don't you just report my name and forget about it? Looking at your expression, my guess should be right. Bai Xuan nodded thoughtfully, then thought of something. and was just about to speak. In the next second, Huo Yu directly interrupted it. Forget about the rest. Why are you so sure that the recovery of the spiritual energy is due to the 7 stars? The country has no information about the recovery of the spiritual energy. Huo Yu can understand other things, but she can't think of this at all. Normally, when we know that this is the handiwork of the state, shouldn't we suspect that the state has grasped the information of the recovery of the spiritual energy before the recovery of the spiritual energy and has cultivated some people and things in advance in some way? Why is he so sure that the country doesn't know about the recovery of Reiki, and it is believed that the recovery of spiritual energy is due to the Qixing Lianzhu? In the past, astronomical visions similar to the 7 stars Lianzhu did not happen, and there was no spiritual recovery at that time, did they? I have my own channel. Bai Xuan didn't answer her, but said lightly, how can he explain it? The instigator of the spiritual recovery is the chat group. Is it because the chat group wants to choose a person with high luck as a group member, and the spiritual recovery is initiated after communicating with the world consciousness? In this case, unless there is a person in Huaxia who is reborn from the future after the recovery of aura, it is impossible to predict. You, a high school student, have a fart channel. Do you have any channel I cannot know? Huo Yu rolled her eyes. She is from the country after all. Bai Xuan didn't check any information before coming here. Could it be that Bai Xuan's channels can even be hidden from the country? I'm curious, how did you determine that the person who shot was me? Bai Xuan looked at Huo Yu and asked this question. Surveillance installed in the playground without their knowledge, someone secretly videotaped, satellite monitoring, or was it the red flame bird? Red flame bird, seemingly sure of something, Bai Xuan murmured. Assuming my previous guesses are correct, those red flame birds are all written by a certain summoning system user in the country. There must be some kind of connection between the red flame bird and that ability user. Memory browsing, visual sharing. From the perspective of abilities, this is not impossible. If this is the case, then it is only natural that Bai Xuan will be discovered. He still remembers the way Qi Yanniao stared at him firmly at that time. If they can really share their vision, the other party can easily identify Bai Xuan. Now that he had the answer, Bai Xuan was not so confused, but made an evaluation of the opponent's strength. Being able to summon such a large number of not weak Qi Yan birds on the first day of spiritual recovery is a very powerful talent. The scarlet flame bird is by no means the opponent's limit. If you go all out, you should summon a more powerful creature. Sure enough, even with the awakening of the whole people, the genius is still far superior to the mediocre. While other people's abilities are still in a state of play, some people have powerful fighting abilities just after awakening. Just the large number of Qi Yan birds summoned by the opponent can stop more than 90% of the supernatural beings in the world. After the spiritual energy is revived, the gap between geniuses and ordinary people has not narrowed, but has been widened. You really shouldn't underestimate the people of the world. Bai Xuan nodded with a deep sigh. Although he has natural authority, his luck is also the highest in Blue Star, and he has a chat group, but those true geniuses cannot be underestimated. Blue Star's future is definitely not that he sits alone in the clouds, but that 100 flowers bloom together, each showing their special abilities. This is what the world should look like after the spiritual energy is revived. So, what's the matter with your gratified expression now? Since you know that the opponent's ability is so powerful, please show a little surprise. This looks like the opponent is no stronger than me. How confident are you in yourself? Seeing the expression on Bai Xuan's face, Huo Yu couldn't help but make a cross on his head. This guy is completely different from ordinary high school seniors. Forget it, I'm done. Sighing slightly, Huo Yu took out 2 documents from the bag. Forget about all the previous topics, let's get down to business now. Let me introduce myself. I am the person in charge of the Hangzhou branch of the Reiki Bureau of the national newly established department. I am also the person you guessed who awakened the summoning ability and summoned the red flame bird. Because I have the ability to share vision with my summoned objects, I found that the Qi Yan bird's eyes have been staring at you, and I also saw that you didn't have the slightest expression after the death of the Qi Yan bird, which seems to have been expected. Although I don't know why the ability you registered is the gold element, but you used the powerful thunder element ability, but this only shows that your talent is stronger than we imagined. So, think again and again, we Hangzhou Lingqi Bureau invite you to join us. Bai Xuan picked up the document and looked at it, and looked at the other party with some doubts. Is this contract the creation of a supernatural being? What will happen if the contract is violated? It's just an ordinary document, and you didn't even sign it. Why did you think of violating it? Huo Yu clenched her fists tightly. If she could, she really wanted to beat this brat up. Oh. Hearing Huo Yu's words, Bai Xuan nodded, and then continued. Before that, I think it is necessary for you to describe to me the benefits of joining the Reiki Bureau. Isn't it written on it? I'm just an ordinary high school student. How could I have the leisure to read so many words? Players in the game need to know that I just omitted them. Although Bai Xuan's expression was very calm, Huo Yu just felt that he was looking at him like he was looking at a fool. After joining the Reiki Bureau, we will adjust your benefits according to your demonstrated strength and talent. If your talent is good enough, we will assign you a dedicated private villa and training ground, as well as professional personnel to accompany you and high-energy food. Other than that, you can ask for anything you need at any time, as long as it is not too much. You can mention it. In terms of resources, it also depends on your strength and talent. The better your talent and strength, the more resources you can allocate. And what we need to do is to deal with all kinds of strange beasts and fierce beasts that cause harm to human beings due to the changes caused by the recovery of spiritual energy. That's all for the time being. After all, the recovery of spiritual energy has just begun, and the Spiritual Energy Bureau has only just been established, and the system is not perfect. End of this chapter. Chapter 26. Members of the Reiki Bureau, please show your potential. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Do you have any other questions? Huo Yu propped her chin, looking at Bai Xuan thoughtfully. Although the two have only met each other not long ago, whenever Bai Xuan showed such an expression, she knew that there must be a question to ask. Has the country now discovered biological mutations other than humans? Of course, after all, the base is here. Huo Yu shrugged and said casually. Your so-called cardinal number is the sum of all species except human beings. Bai Xuan said speechlessly. Otherwise? Do you always have to think about things with your worst thoughts first? They may not necessarily have a good impression of humans, and it is even more difficult to judge whether they can live in peace with humans. Think about the problem with the worst outcome, then no matter how bad things happen in the future, there will be no surprises. Huo Yu has no idea about this, and she is not a politician, so she will carry out any orders from above. Moreover, I also said before that the original intention of the establishment of the Reiki Bureau is to deal with those mutant creatures that cause harm to humans. When they endanger the lives of ordinary people, their only end is death. Without exception, she is not a biological equality advocate, and she doesn't even care about the lives of other people outside of China, let alone mutant creatures that cause harm to humans. I see. Bai Xuan nodded, and then asked another question. How many members are there in the current Reiki Bureau? Add you and me for a total of 5. An awakener of the ice element. When she awakened, her home was frozen. Fortunately, her parents were not at home, otherwise. Huo Yu didn't say the latter, but Bai Xuan could understand what she meant. There is also a beast-type superhuman. If there is no accident, it should be some kind of tiger-like beast. There are no shortcomings in strength, speed, and agility. He is also very talented in combat, which is not bad. The last one awakened is a healing ability, but it can only heal external injuries for the time being. Ordinary knife wounds can basically be healed in 5 seconds, but it consumes more energy, and it doesn't take a few times. But this will be better when it becomes stronger later. The ice element ability is called Su Yu, the animal ability is called Qin Chang, and the healing ability is called Yishuru. Don't remember it wrong. Huo Yu's introduction was very brief, just talking about their names and abilities, but if you get a general understanding, that's about the same. Ice elemental mages, offensive fighters, and healing support. It's clear at once if you look at it like this. It's a small team, but even if this is the case, it is not attractive to Bai Xuan. If he wants to have a villa or something, there is nothing he can do. Although the special training ground is a bit attractive, he can build it himself. Again, there is no shortage of money. As for the team, with his strength, he doesn't need the team's assistance at all. In terms of resources, ordinary natural materials and earth treasures are meaningless given his growth rate, and important resources may not be allocated to him. Besides, if he really needs resources, he can find them by himself. With the particularity of his natural authority, as long as it is something on the earth, he can find it if he is looking for it. Just when Bai Xuan was about to refuse, Huo Yu suddenly said, "Oh, by the way, I remembered that if you join the Reiki Bureau, you won't have to go to school these days, so hurry up and focus on your strength. After all, we are not sure whether the future enemy will be strong or weak. It is better to be more cautious. If you really want to go to school in the future, we can arrange for you to go to any university you choose." "Okay, not if you say this, I won't be sleepy." Bai Xuan's eyes brightened slightly. Although with his academic performance, he didn't feel tired when he went to school, and he could occasionally chat in the chat group, but now that his spiritual energy has recovered, learning things are not as interesting as supernatural powers. What's more, it's not about dropping out of school, so I can still go if I want to. What am I? Seeing Bai Xuan's sudden interest, Huo Yu couldn't help but want to swear, and after talking to her for a long time, "Are you interested in going to school?" "Really are. If I had known earlier, I wouldn't need to waste so much time. Just say this out. I can join the Spiritual Chi Bureau, but I have agreed on one thing. I can accept the task whether it is saving the people or destroying mutant beasts, but I don't get involved in other aspects related to politics. Also, if some tasks are offensive to me, I can refuse." In any world, in any country, and in most contexts, human beings are not united. When the balance reaches a certain level, there will be other voices in the human group, and he has no interest in this aspect and does not want to touch it. Although this document does not have any contractual capacity, it only depends on whether Bai Xuan is willing, but there are still some things that need to be agreed. "You are a real bully." Huo Yu rolled his eyes. Whether it was Chen Chang, Su Yu, or Yishuru, they all agreed directly before discussing conditions. Don't even dare to think about it. Only this guy, if he didn't join the Reiki Bureau, he wouldn't have to take classes. She really felt that the other party would refuse to join. Where did he get his confidence? No matter how talented you are, it's impossible for one person to practice more than the country's training, right? Although you are not the only one cultivated by the country, in terms of resources, it is impossible for any force to surpass the country. Okay. Your Uncle Bai has already spoken. What conditions are not acceptable? But it all has to be based on your talent. If your awakened ability is not strong enough to attract the country's attention, then you don't even think about negotiating conditions. But if your awakened ability is abnormal, the kind that even I feel ashamed of, then this contract is a torn piece of paper. As long as it's not something that endangers the country or the people, you can do whatever you want. Having said all this, she wanted to see what the supernatural power Bai Xuan had awakened that gave him such confidence. Gold element? Thunder element? Or gold, wood, water, fire, earth and mine? If you control all the elements and the power of each element is similar to the thunder element you showed before, it may be possible. With Erlang's legs crossed, Huo Yu lay on the sofa, spread her arms and raised her eyebrows. Come on, show. Bai Xuan was not surprised by this either. If you want others to value you, then you naturally have to show the confidence to make others value you. In this case, maybe you can have a clearer understanding of my ability. Snapped. As he spoke, Bai Xuan snapped his fingers, but nothing changed around him. Huo Yu frowned, just about to say something. Suddenly, she seemed to realize something, and a look of horror appeared in her eyes. Breathe. She couldn't even breathe. End of this chapter. Chapter 27. The Frightening Bai Xuan, the Compromised Fire Feather. You are listening at novelfull.audio. How is this possible? Can superpowers even do this kind of thing? Do not, wrong. It is precisely because of being able to do this kind of thing that the horror of supernatural powers can be revealed. However, this ability to isolate the air is really terrifying. Whether it is for humans or other creatures that need to breathe, it is a very threatening ability. Accurately speaking, it doesn't isolate the air, it just controls the oxygen around your body so that it cannot be ingested by you. I haven't moved the oxygen in your body. The current situation is equivalent to holding your breath. With your current physique, it's not difficult to sustain it for 5 to 10 minutes. Bai Xuan seemed to have seen Huo Yu's thoughts, and explained with a smile, then with a wave of his hand, Huo Yu found that he could breathe normally again, but subconsciously, his breathing became a little short. If it is a normal breath holding, then naturally there is no problem, because whether to breathe depends on one's own thoughts, but if one cannot breathe passively and cannot take in the necessary oxygen, then the fear and panic in the heart are indescribable. Slightly silent, Huo Yu digested the shock Bai Xuan gave him. What is the range you can control? What time? That there is nothing more to say. No matter what Bai Xuan's real ability is, just manipulating oxygen, this is enough to increase their attention to Bai Xuan. For humans, oxygen is too important. You know, oxygen is the gas that maintains the normal breathing of the human body, and human beings will die without oxygen, from dizziness, weakness of limbs, and physical weakness in the early stage, to nausea, irritability, and near suffocation. The whole person was in a state of weakness, and finally lost consciousness until death. Oxygen is one of the most important factors for human survival. Although some experts have suggested that oxygen is the culprit in the loss of human lifespan, and humans can live longer without oxygen, but the humans who can live without oxygen are definitely not humans in the modern context. It is no exaggeration to say that today's human beings will die without oxygen. In this case, it is self-evident how terrifying Bai Xuan's ability to manipulate oxygen is. More importantly, from the analysis of Bai Xuan's language, he can even directly extract the oxygen inside the human body. What does this mean? If it is said that with the revival of spiritual energy, everyone's abilities are getting stronger and their physical fitness is getting higher and higher, and some people can even stop breathing for an hour, a day, or even 10 days, for this kind of people, Bai Xuan's ability to control oxygen is not so powerful. They can kill Bai Xuan first, so the oxygen will come back. But if Bai Xuan can control the oxygen inside the human body, then no matter how powerful the supernatural being is, as long as he still needs to breathe and needs oxygen, no matter how long he can persist without taking in oxygen, he will die in the shortest time. As far as the brain is concerned, if the oxygen circulation in the brain is completely cut off, the other party will lose consciousness within 10 seconds. 10 seconds, resurrection of spiritual energy can be regarded as a channel for the essence of the human body, but for the brain, the most important area of the human body, how powerful can a person with supernatural powers transform it? How long can this time be extended after transformation? Can Bai Xuan be killed within this time? One must know that Bai Xuan's abilities are far more than simply manipulating oxygen. It is known that he also has the ability to manipulate gold elements and thunder elements. In terms of talent, Huo Yu doesn't think anyone can surpass Bai Xuan, even if it's her own or even those monsters in the military area. Range? Does this kind of thing matter? Or will you believe me when I tell you, that Bai Xuan smiled and said calmly. Yeah, in front of this ability, no matter what you say, I can't believe it. I believe it, and they can't believe it. Huo Yu smiled wryly. In front of the ability to control oxygen, no matter what Bai Xuan said was meaningless. Even if you get complete data, some people will question the authenticity of the data. Your abilities are truly terrifying. Huo Yu put away the document and couldn't help sighing. Regarding Bai Xuan's ability, she didn't know what words to use to describe it. Gold elements, thunder elements, and even oxygen can be manipulated. It can't be that all elements in the natural world can be manipulated arbitrarily. There is no need to sign the document anymore, and with the talent you have shown, such words are not binding. As long as you don't do things that violate the law or taboo, or endanger the country and the people, that's fine. But one thing to say first, I believe it because I saw your ability with my own eyes, but others may not believe it. If there are no accidents in the future, someone will definitely challenge you. You can handle this matter yourself, just don't kill him. After knowing the horror of Bai Xuan, Huo Yu's words were very tolerant, otherwise such words should not have come from her official mouth. talent is always treated with a special attitude, especially now that the aura is still recovering. This kind of talent is not a talent in scientific research but a talent in military force. What if we don't treat it well? Who knows what the upper limit of the ability is? What if it is stronger than a humanoid nuclear bomb? It's really inclusive. When Bai Xuan heard Huo Yu's words, he thought that the other party was joking. After all, how could the country give the other party such a large degree of freedom? But now it seems that it is indeed true. Is it okay if you don't tolerate it? Huo Yu rolled his eyes and said angrily. It's not that I haven't investigated you. You have excellent academic performance, mature thinking, and have your own plans for the future. Normally speaking, neither smart people nor ordinary people will refuse the country's solicitation, because they know that it is impossible for the country to allow those supernatural beings who have powerful powers to live wantonly among the people at the beginning of the recovery of spiritual energy. Because they are unstable bombs, it's okay if they don't explode, but once they explode, they will endanger the people. Joining the state and being monitored by the state is the best way for them. And you, if you didn't attract you conditionally, would you want to refuse? It's impossible for you not to think of the country's attitude towards geniuses, but you still have the idea of doing this. What does this mean? You have full confidence in your own strength. This kind of self-confidence is not about the potential of the future, but about the present. You think that your current strength is enough to negotiate with the country. It is impossible for you not to know how powerful the country is. After all, this is the information age, and many things can be found, even if they are not comprehensive. There are 7 or 8 out of 10. Also, when you know that there are many supernatural beings similar to me and even stronger than me in the country, you don't have any panic, but an attitude of relief, that I am not alone. If you are not arrogant and arrogant, it can only explain one thing. The ability you awakened is very powerful, so powerful that you still feel that you have the capital and confidence to talk about it after considering so many factors. End of this chapter. Chapter 28 Constructing the Natural Factors, the Fire Feather with a Broken Expression. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Having said that, Huo Yu paused. She didn't know whether her guess was accurate, because this is so exaggerated. Now is the beginning of spiritual energy recovery. Even if the genius awakened ability will be more powerful, it can't be too unreasonable, right? At least it is impossible to give a person enough confidence to negotiate terms with the country, unless this guy is a lunatic. Bai Xuan doesn't look like one either. And looking at his current picture, although he is a little surprised, he is not very surprised. It seems that what he said is still correct. Does he really feel that his strength is enough to face the technology that has been developed so far? What the hell? Even if large-scale firepower weapons cannot be used in the city, many firearms are extremely powerful. What's more, there are Qin Tian, Chen Bing, Chen Chongsheng and other talents with powerful abilities in the military region. It was hard for her to imagine what a terrifying ability it was that could give Bai Xuan such a strong confidence, or is it that the opponent's strength is not so strong, but she is just making up her mind? Alas, this kind of thing can't be guessed by guessing. Even if you don't admit it, you can't deny its uncertainty, since it is possible to give birth to people with abilities like them that far exceed ordinary people. Why don't there be more evil people with abilities that far surpass them? People, you still have to accept the reality. That is to say, but can you tell me what your powers are? Anyway, you're so confident, it's okay to tell me, right? I assure you, I will never disclose it to others. Huo Yu poked Bai Xuan's shoulder and said in a low voice. You think I'll believe it? Bai Xuan looked at her a little speechlessly, afraid that after she said it, she went back and reported it directly to the higher-ups. But there's nothing bad to say. Huo Yu's eyes lit up, and his 2 eyes stared at him expectantly like a cat waiting to be fed. She was just trying it out, but she didn't expect that the other party was really willing to say it. Regardless of whether it is a lie or not, after returning home, find someone to analyze each word research from various aspects. Bai Xuan didn't care about Huo Yu's thoughts, just looked at the scenery outside the window as if no one else was there, and said lightly. Don't you think that the world after the recovery of spiritual energy is beautiful? Except for the creatures that have evolved because of the aura that we think will pose a threat to humans. In fact, the recovery of aura will not do any harm to us, to plants, to animals, or to the earth under our feet, right? But we are human beings. Before considering other creatures, the first thing we should consider is ourselves, isn't it? Although Huo Yu didn't know why Bai Xuan suddenly mentioned this, he didn't refute it. Indeed, if the threat theory of biological evolution is put aside, the recovery of spiritual energy is only good for human beings and other things, but they are human beings, so they naturally think about problems from a human perspective. When other creatures have evolved to have wisdom and stronger power than humans, will they hate humans? Will it harm humans? Will it pose a threat to human civilization? These are things they have to consider. All life on Earth are equal, but this sentence is said by human beings, and it is up to human beings to decide whether they are really equal. When human beings are above other creatures, he can naturally feel guilty about certain things because of his pity, love, and regret. I'm not qualified to say that. But in nature, whether it is human beings, flowers, animals or other things, their status is equal. Because they are all part of nature. In the same way, because they are all part of nature and are the factors that build nature. Thunder, flame, wind, rain, light, darkness and other elements, rhinos, pandas, golden eagles, white tigers, lions and other beasts, even technological weapons such as firearms, tanks, rocket launchers and nuclear bombs. In fact, they are all it's part of nature, isn't it? Following Bai Xuan's understatement, Huo Yu's eyes widened. What do you mean by saying these? What does naturally including these things have to do with your powers? It's impossible for your ability to be related to nature. You can use the power of everything in nature at will, right? Ha ha ha, isn't this a joke? How can there be such a terrifying ability in the world? Certainly not. Huo Yu's face was full of breakdowns. She felt from the bottom of her heart that Bai Xuan was deceiving herself, but her rationality felt that what Bai Xuan said was true. This guy's ability is really related to nature, even nature itself, but how is such a thing possible? Nature encompasses so much, even their humans are included. If Bai Xuan could really borrow any power from nature, then their human power would naturally be included in it too. What power do they humans have? I didn't have much power before, but now I have awakened my abilities, all kinds of abilities. If the powers in the natural world that Bai Xuan refers to include their special abilities, then he is really giving the country face by talking about it. Fire Feather left. When I came here, I was fine, with a playful expression, wanting to let the young people know how big the world is. As for Bai Xuan who turned Huo Yu into this look. He looked innocent, obviously he didn't say anything, just lamented the beauty and inclusiveness of nature. The rest are all made up by Huo Yu himself, and have nothing to do with him. Time passed slowly, and it was the next day in a blink of an eye. At this time, there were already a large number of people in black suits at the door of Bai Xuan's house, and they bowed down respectfully after seeing Bai Xuan. Bai Xuan had no doubts about this. Even though Huo Yu's mental state collapsed before he left, he did not forget to ask him to pack his things and move to the villa allocated by the Spiritual Qi Bureau tomorrow. Just why do you have to wear a suit? It's fine to wear a suit, isn't it a bit too much to wear sunglasses? Those who didn't know thought it was a bodyguard. After complaining slightly, Bai Xuan handed over the suitcase in his hand, and then took a special car and led them into a very quiet villa complex. It was quiet because Bai Xuan didn't see anyone on the way, but it's normal when you think about it. After all, it's an official area, specially prepared for the members of the Reiki Bureau, and only the most talented members can live in it. It's normal that there are few people. The villa assigned to Bai Xuan is located on the edge of the villa complex, covering an area of square meters, with a dedicated gym and training ground. End of this chapter. Chapter 29 The Principle of Absorbing the Stars, Gravity. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Of course other configurations are also available, but these are the two places that Bai Xuan cares most about. After all, how bad could a villa of this size be? Anyway, Bai Xuan was quite satisfied. Master Bai Xuan, if you need anything, you can contact us at any time. The man who looked like a housekeeper spoke to Bai Xuan respectfully, then bowed and left. After getting a little familiar with the new home, Bai Xuan did not leave to start exercising, but sank into the chat group, Child of Nature, moving to a new house. Child of Nature, image.jpg. Ordinary group leader. Ordinary group leader, this is a villa. And it's so big. Ordinary group leader, you are also a time traveler, not only have you awakened your abilities, but you are actually a rich second generation. Ordinary group leader, damn it. Son of Nature, rich second generation is considered, but I didn't buy this villa myself, I joined the official benefits. Son of Nature, you should be able to understand me, right? Bai Xuan raised his eyebrows and posted in the chat group, Ordinary group leader, are you underestimating my knowledge of novels? No doubt it's just to deal with villains and mutated creatures who rely on supernatural powers to twist their minds. Ordinary group leader, but this benefit is a big deal. Su Yunqing naturally understood Bai Xuan's meaning, and was not surprised that Bai Xuan joined the official. Of course, she didn't know what Bai Xuan's awakened ability was, but she just felt that he didn't have the ability to deal with all dangers, and he didn't have the ability to refuse the official invitation. If she knew how terrifying Bai Xuan's awakened ability was, she wouldn't have said such things, even playing with the stalks of the motherland and the ancestors. Dongfang Bubi, this is the house you lived in your era. Although I don't understand it, it is indeed extremely luxurious. Ordinary group owner, if it's just the architecture and decoration, it's not bad. The most expensive thing is the location. In Hangzhou, the house price is not cheap. Ordinary group leader, fortunately, I have my own house after time travel, he. Ordinary group leader, it's just that the death of both parents is really helpless. It's really necessary for time travelers. I thought it would be miserable enough if my parents divorced and didn't want me in the previous life. I didn't expect them to be cold in this life. Su Yunqing was a little depressed about this, she really wanted to enjoy the love of her parents, but she didn't have this chance. Child of Nature, your parents are also divorced. Ordinary group leader. Ordinary group leader, your parents are also divorced. Son of Nature, yes, they left when I was 14, left me a house, and gave me 50 pocket money each month. Son of Nature, it feels okay, maybe it's because I'm cold by nature. Ordinary group leader. Ordinary group leader, you fucking started Versailles again. King of Versailles. Looking at the front, I wanted to talk about someone who is also a fallen person from the end of the world, but in the end, I pretended it for me later. You can really pretend, Bai Xuan. Su Yunqing gritted his teeth and said. Dongfang Bubi, the group leader is short of money. Owning such treasures as a superdimensional chat group, and even becoming the group leader, even if you are an ordinary person, are you still short of money? Ordinary group leader, ahem, it's actually okay, a well-off family. Ordinary group owner, of course, if you insist on sending me a red envelope, I don't mind if it's full of gold, silver, and jewelry. Ordinary group leader, I don't have any sense of shame, I like being insulted with money the most. Eastern undefeated. Worst elf. Boil daegu into soup, it's the first time I've seen someone who asked for money like this. That's it meow, meow meow wants to learn from you, meow. Ordinary group leader, just kidding. Ordinary group leader, I'm waiting for good news from my father now, if it's really an angel form of a phantom beast, then there's no money, I don't want it, it has to come to me by itself. Be my son, ku la la la. The group leader wait for a while. Be my son, it still takes a little time to sail the sea. Ordinary group leader, okay, dad, be nice. Jpg. Son of Nature. Dongfang Bubi, thank you for your information, I have met my sister. Dongfang Bubi, it's a pity that she doesn't want to go back to Hamuya with me. Dongfang Bubi, if there is anything you want in my world, you can ask for it. Boil daegu into soup. Speaking of this, I really wish I didn't send out a memory copy of the Invincible World in the East. Boil daegu into soup, how powerful is the undefeated world in the East? Ordinary group leader, how about martial arts? Dongfang Bai's world is a world of low martial arts, just an ordinary world of martial arts, not very strong. Son of Nature, this is not necessarily the case, it may also be the world of immortal martial arts. Son of nature, after all, there are quite a few martial arts fans based on the world of martial arts. Ordinary group leader, that's right, I forgot fandom. I liked watching it before time travel. Ordinary group leader, the kind of fairy tales that bring together all the martial arts characters, such as Yaoyue, Dongfang Bai, Shimen Chuksu, Xia Xiaofeng, Zhang Sanfeng, anyway. Ding, the group member, Son of Nature, uploaded a memory copy. Son of Nature, I uploaded my mother's version of Xiaoao Jianghu, although it may not match your world, but the general trajectory should be the same. Son of Nature, as for the reward, you can just send me a copy of Ren Wishing's star-absorbing method after reading the memory copy. Ordinary group leader, star-absorbing Dafa. What do you want that thing for? Ordinary group leader, the incomplete version of Baiming Shengong can't absorb even a little domineering internal force, and there are side effects. Ordinary group leader, it would be better if Huo Yu, the god of iron courage, ignored the practice of absorbing energy, and let me do this, it would be fun. Su Yunqing didn't understand why Bai Xuan wanted this as a reward for cultivation. Or reverse the Baiming magic power and absorb spiritual energy. Son of Nature, the original star-absorbing method is indeed like this. It is a mixture of Baiming Shengong and the incomplete version of Huagong Dafa, but Yuma's version of star-absorbing method is not. Son of Nature, he explained it to Ren Yingying in this way. Son of Nature, the stars in the sky hang high in the sky, but they don't fall down. Why? That's because the sun's gravity attracts all the stars in the sky. This is the principle of the star-attracting method he practiced. Son of Nature, perhaps it is indeed inferior in expressiveness, but the principle is very powerful. It is a different path from Baiming Shengong. Son of Nature, anyway, I don't want anything, this can be studied. End of this chapter. Chapter 30 The Method to Reshape the Aura Insulator, the Fruit of the Divine Tree. You are listening at novelfull.audio. To be honest, if it weren't for the popularity of short videos in the previous life, he really didn't notice this place. The principle of attracting stars turned out to be gravity. Who dares to think about it? It's not just the moon worshipper who talks about science, but also the one who does what he wants. It's a pity that no matter what the principle is, it can't change the fact that the method of absorbing stars is full of flaws. Bai Xuan just wanted to learn from it. If it is useful, that's great. If it doesn't work, it doesn't matter. He doesn't care about that. Ordinary group leader, is this version of Ren Wishing talking about science? I really didn't pay attention. Ordinary group leader, but although the setting has changed, it's still weak, it's useless. Ordinary group leader, I didn't have any expectations for the star-absorbing Dafa when he was exhausted in Zhuolingchan. Although Su Yunqing was surprised by the gravitational force of Ren Wishing, she didn't have too many thoughts. After all, Ren Wishing's expressive power in the TV series was there, and she couldn't look forward to it even if she wanted to. Ordinary group leader, it's a pity that many powerful martial arts cheats in swordsmen have been lost, or it takes too long to practice. Otherwise I really want to practice and practice to satisfy my childhood dream of martial arts. Son of Nature, although I don't know what your aptitude is, since you have the nature of an aura insulator, there is a high probability that cultivation is not suitable for you. Ordinary group owner, stare.jpg. Ordinary group leader, think about it. Ordinary group leader, whoa me, my 9 Yin scriptures, my little non-phase kung fu, my unique kung fu of 8 barons and 6 hemispheres, as well as the Sutra of Divine Illumination, Jianhua Strategy, Longevity Ju, God of War Illustrated Book, and Jade Heart Sutra. The ordinary group leader, forget about the Jade Heart Sutra, I don't want to become cold. Ordinary group leader, wow, my martial arts dream is gone. Why do I have to cross into a spiritual insulator, that worst elf? Boil daegu into soup, although I don't know what these martial arts cheats are, but the names seem to be very powerful. Son of Nature, because she is not very good, she is a naughty one. Son of Nature, there's also don't cry, it's an aura insulator now, but it doesn't mean it will be an aura insulator in the future. Son of Nature, in the future, when there are more members in the group, there will inevitably be treasures in their world that can change this system. Son of nature, even in the current world of group members, there may not be none. Ordinary group owner, doubt.jpg. Ordinary group leader, are you sure? Even the devil fruit in Papa's world can only enhance my strength, and I can't practice chakra. At my current age, unless the internal strength is beaming divine art, longevity art, etc. Cheats, otherwise it will be difficult to quickly practice to become famous. Ordinary group leader, and it should be difficult to break the aura insulation, right? At least I have to reshape my body. Ordinary group leader, could it be that you are talking about the beast phoenix king in the world of meow meow, that's it meow, meow, that's it meow, this favor meow can't help you meow. That's a beast, they can't do it, meow. Son of nature, Feng Wang's sacred flame is indeed one method, but I said it is another. Son of nature, it's the difficulty. Well. It can't be said to be too big, but it's not too small. Son of nature, do you know the fruit of the divine tree? It can make Otsutsuki become a god in one step. It has terrifying combat power and authority, and it can definitely erase your aura insulator. Son of nature, and you can also gain extremely powerful strength. Ordinary group leader, you seem to be joking with me. Ordinary group leader, is that something I can touch? Don't talk about me, Mr. Madara can't do it either. Son of nature, shrug.jpg. Son of nature, so you can rely on the lottery. The lottery pool contains all the things in the Naruto world, and the fruit of the sacred tree is naturally in it. Son of nature, or you can wait until Uchiha Madara enters the realm of the 6 realms or even become stronger, directly kill Otsutsuki Yura style and Otsutsuki Kinshi, snatch the seeds of the sacred tree, and then find a living planet to plant and harvest. I'll give it to you when it's delivered. Child of nature, although the process is slow, you can also wait. Uchiha Dance King, yes. Since he read Su Yunqing's memory copy of the world of Naruto, he knew his future and had the opportunity to change the future. Of course he is willing to help. Ordinary group leader, forget it, it sounds like a lot of trouble, and living planets should be hard to find. Ordinary group leader, it's not impossible. Ordinary group leader, in the future, the chat group will definitely open up more functions. Repairing an aura insulator is not easy, and it doesn't need to be so troublesome. Su Yunqing quickly refused. If it was a small favor that didn't take much time, she would accept it, but she definitely couldn't accept this kind of time-consuming thing, and there must be a limit to bothering others. Even if Master Madara doesn't mind, she is also embarrassed. Boil Daegu into soup. Speaking of which, have you all read the memory copies of the chat group? That's it meow, no meow, too many, that's it meow, one piece is too much, meow, that worst elf. The worst elf, have you finished watching your own world? That's it, meow, after watching a few episodes, I don't want to watch it, meow, I still have to experience this kind of thing myself, meow. Boil Daegu into soup, I've been watching Pokemon recently and want to. Although he is a man, he can't refuse the temptation of Pokemon. The innocent and ignorant eyes and irresistible kindness, they are extremely pure creatures and a symbol of beauty. Compared with human beings, they have more light in their hearts and are more beautiful. Ordinary group leader, the elf world is the world of my dreams. Although there are all kinds of dangers and conspiracies, as long as I think of the cute elves that day, I don't seem to have anything to worry about. Ordinary group leader, I want to. Child of nature, I want to. Worst elf, I want to. Dongfang Booby, although I don't quite understand what you mean by elves, but at this time, I really want to. That's it meow, even if you are like this, meow meow doesn't have it. That's it meow, although we have been catching, but we are all destroyed by the little devil's head meow. Ordinary group owner, you can buy it with money. The rockets should have internal channels, right? End of this chapter.